Hello everyone, what's up? And now we're gonna do part three of What If Naruto was a full Uzumaki and he rebuilt the Whirlpool village. So this is the normal version, which means he's not gonna have a harem, but he's gonna have more than one girl. Uh yeah, all right, guys. Quickly, like before we get started, almost all my viewers who commented wanted Naruto to romance more than one girl. You know what I'm saying, right? So, out of everyone, a few wanted to limit it to a few girls, while others wanted like a full-on harem, like you know what I mean. So, I will be splitting the series into a full harem continuation and a normal continuation. Normal meaning he gets a few girls. I'm just going to tell you why I don't want him to get one girl in the series. Basically, I don't really think it makes sense for him to get only one because his clan is nearly died out, right? And in this series, he has a lot more like awareness about his clan, and like he has like that aim to rebuild his clan and stuff. So he needs more than one woman. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so that's why he's not going to get only one girl. He will have a few, and in the other version of the series, he's gonna have a full-on harem. Like he's gonna get like every girl. So and every like worthy girl. You know what I'm saying? The girls gotta be good. So, anyways, uh, new videos for each of the continuations will be uploaded every alternate day. So that means the next part to this normal version will be uploaded day after tomorrow, and the harem continuation part 3 would be uploaded tomorrow. So yeah, and the reason why I'm uploading the normal version first is because I want my harem version viewers to get to decide whether they want like women with a lot of age gap with Naruto. Like for example, like women a lot older than Naruto, like Anko, Tsunade, Kurenai, Mei. You know what I'm saying, right? Like all the hot characters who have a large age gap. So yeah, I just want to like ask them if that's something they would want. So, all right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and recap the last part. In part two, Naruto trained like so hard in the time seal that he became like the most broken character ever. Like, I'm not even kidding. So, meanwhile, the other kids, his age in Konoha, they were just starting to attend the academy when, one of their would-be classmates if in canon is like the strongest shinobi in the world. Like, uh, yeah, it's pretty big, the like gap between the um, students in the academy and him. So, anyways, um, yeah. So at this point, the only two people who care about Naruto, like who are his age, are Hinata and Sasuke. And like some of the other kids feel bad for him, but they don't really care about him. But most of the other kids are like doing backflips in happiness when they heard about Naruto. Anyways, like we ended with Naruto doing enough missions to save up enough to start gathering supplies and rebuilding his village. And we left it off with Naruto's shadow clones bringing a whole bunch of people to his village, right? So let's get this part started. So the people who Naruto's clones found were a family of 5 Uchihas, a family of 3 Uzumakis, which were Karin and her parents, Kimimaro Kaguya, Haku Yuki, Zabuza Momochi, a family of 2 Chinoikes, and Oyashiro Chinoike and his daughter Chino Chinoike, Raiga Kurosuke, who's like he's in the original Naruto series, but then I think he's in the filler part. So, he's like the he's like one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, and he wields these blades called like they're thunder swords, and they're called Kiba, like not the fodder ass Kiba that was Naruto's classmate in academy. Like the sword's name is Kiba. So. Um, yeah, that's Raiga, and he also found Ranmaru, who's Raiga's partner, and he has like the special dojutsu which can like negate the vision of the Byakugan, so it's like pretty good, and it can also like uh see like with a very wide range like the Byakugan. So yeah, it's a pretty OP dojutsu. I don't know why it doesn't have a name. So anyways, like, by the way, I failed to mention that Naruto shadow clones arrived back at like an instant because of the flying Raijin. So I just wanted to add that. Yeah. So anyways, so now as Naruto dispels the shadow clones, he was like hit with the backlash of all the memories of the shadow clones. So now we're gonna go through the memories of and like you know see how Naruto managed to recruit these people. So if you don't really care about that, I am putting a timestamp on the video so that you can skip to that part. But yeah, if you want to know, I'm giving you that information here. So yeah, the Uchiha family is actually like comprised of descendants of Madara and a bunch of other Uchiha who were his followers. So there were a mother, a father, twin daughters, and a son. And the names of the mother and father were Ren and Osamu. And the daughters were Umi and Kei, and the son was Raiju. So yeah, that was the Uchiha family, and they were found hiding in the Hidden Rain village. So yeah, at this point, the village, was being ruled by Hanzo. So you know, they didn't really run into pain while bringing these Uchiha. So yeah, and these Uchihas were basically refugees as Madara's followers. They killed each other in the war, and this family kind of had nowhere to go. So when Naruto provided them a home in his village, they were like more than happy to come. So like anything was better than the Hidden Rain, basically. And next, we're going on to the Uzumaki family of Karin and her parents, who were found in the Hidden Grass village. Now, I know in the anime and in the regular canon series, uh, only Karin's mother was shown, but then I'm just saying that like in this what if she has a father, okay, and like he's alive and whatever, so, and she's a full Uzumaki. Um, so basically, like that weird guy who's like supposedly taking care of Karin and her family. Yeah, Naruto killed him. Like, and this was a couple of years before Karin's mother would die in canon. So yeah, her mother survived, right? So yeah, Naruto saw how that like weird guy was treating Karin and her mother. So he basically confronted him and killed him. Like, no remorse at all. So yeah, and he was like, unlike this bastard, I will let you stay in my village and live in peace. No one will expect you to heal people by letting them bite you. Of course, unless you yourself decide to do that, Naruto told him. So, yeah, they were pretty happy with this, and like they were like, really? And like with hope in their eyes. And Naruto was like, yes, you're both refugees, and I'm going to treat you well, not just because you're from my clan, but also because of basic human decency. So like they happily went ahead with them. Like yeah, again, they didn't want to stay in a village where everyone just wants to bite them, like that's pretty creepy if you think about it. But yeah, let's just get back to the video. So yeah, uh like before they left off, Karin's mother made Naruto a request. Like, she was like, "Before we go, could you please rescue my husband? He is in prison under high security." And Naruto's like, "What is he imprisoned for?" And Karin's mom was like, "He was trying to defend us from Grass Shinobi who were trying to enslave us for healing abilities." And like obviously like he clearly failed because Naruto had to save Karin and her mother. But anyways, um, like I'm tired of calling her Karin's mother, so I'm just going to make up a name to call her. So let's call Karin's mother Naoki Uzumaki. So yeah, her name will be Naoki, and like which is Naoki. And while we're on it, let's just give her father a name too. Uh, let's just give her father a name too, and let's call him Rei Uzumaki. So yeah, let's get back to the what if. And obviously, Naruto just like creates a shadow clone which blitzes into the prison, knocking out all the shinobi placed outside for security. And he finds Rei bound with chains and like severely beaten. And like he was like pissed off at the way Rei was treated. Like he was like he let like some of his bloodlust leak out, and before he reined it back in. Like and then like it was like potent. Like he was like super angry. So he smashed the chains with his fists, and like he basically like shattered them, and he used the flying Raijin to teleport to a kunai he left with Karin and Naoki. So yeah, they all like thanked Naruto, and they came back with him to the Whirlpool village. So yeah, next now for the next three people. Uh, Two Naruto shadow clones see the interaction between Zabuza, Haku, and Kimimaro on the bridge in the Mist Village. So basically, we don't remember this. There was a scene where Zabuza was walking back with Haku after he found him, and they found Kimimaro on the way. Like he was running away from the Mist Village because his clan decided to attack it, and they're all getting wiped out. So he was just like trying to run away, and he saw them, and then like he was like, "Are you from the Mist Village?" And then they're like, "No." So then he just ran away. So yeah, and when Naruto sees Kimimaro running away from there, one of Naruto's shadow clones goes after Kimimaro, and the other goes after Zabuza and Haku, right? So when one of the clones reaches Kimimaro, Kimimaro holds one of his bone kunai out towards Naruto, and Naruto's like, "Relax, I'm friendly. I've come here to offer you a home where you will be treated kindly back in my village." And Kimimaro was like kind of startled. Like he didn't really trust anyone at this point because like of how harshly he was treated. How harshly he was treated. So yeah, he was like, "Why me? My clan desired nothing but war and bloodshed." And Naruto's like, "But do you desire those things?" And Kimimaro like shook his head like because he didn't want all that. So Naruto's like, "Then that's all that matters. Come with me so that you can restore your clan and prove to the world that your clan is kind and peaceful like you." And this was like enough to make Kimimaro loyal to Naruto, like the way he is loyal to Orochimaru in canon. So he was loyal to Naruto and only to Naruto. So yeah, while they were about to head back, Orochimaru and his lackeys confronted Naruto because, like, if you remember in canon, Orochimaru was like, watching all of this, So, yeah, so in like since Naruto managed to find Kimimaro before Orochimaru, uh, like Naruto managed to recruit him first. So, Orochimaru was like, "Give us the boy, brat," and he like snarled at Naruto, like showing his killer intent. But Naruto, like, he did so many like high-ranking missions and hit jobs. He wasn't even like phased by this, so he was just like too late. And then he held Kimimara's hand and teleported with him back to the Whirlpool village. Orochimaru was like kind of shocked at this. He was like, "Was that the Red Flash? But he died. So how?" He thought. Like he was thinking all of this, and he just like shook off his confusion because he was pretty angry, right? He was like, "That brat! How dare he stole my young, strong body!" Like his pedophilia and stuff. Like he was like, "I will kill him and I'll get that boy's body." And then yeah, he was like licking his lips like that signature pedophile style. You know what I mean? So yeah, there will be more on what Orochimaru will do in a future part. So yeah, next is Zabuza and Haku, right? So Naruto basically offers Zabuza and Haku protection by letting them reside in his village, as they were both like rogue. As Zabuza was a rogue ninja, right? So Zabuza obviously like he declines because like he has an ego, man. Like you remember the first part of Naruto, he had a pretty big ego. So uh, so Naruto was like, "All right, Zabuza, I challenge you. Haku can participate as well if he likes, but if I can't defeat you and Haku if he chooses to fight in 3 seconds, you do not have to come to my village with me. And Zabuza was like, all right, kid, just don't be alarmed when I end up chopping your head off. Zabuza said, like, tapping his sword, like patting his sword with his hand. And Naruto, he just smirked. So he was like, uh, so Haku, right? He picked up a small rock and he was like, I will count and the fight will begin as soon as the rock hits the ground. So, as soon as the rock lands, Zabuza is like knocked out before Haku can even count to one. So, this is obviously because of flying Raijin, which for which Naruto placed the seal on Zabuza's shoulder before he even noticed. So, yeah, so Zabuza got knocked out before Haku could even realize. So Haku, like, he looked at Naruto in shock. Like, he was like completely like looking at him like completely differently because he never knew that someone could just beat Zabuza like that. And then Naruto looked at Haku and he was like, "Relax, I just knocked him out. He'll come around eventually." And he just picked up an unconscious Zabuza and slung him on his shoulder as though he weighed nothing. And he just picked up his sword with the other hand and continued walking. And he just like, teleported back to the village. To the Whirlpool village, and as they walked back, Zabuza, he regained consciousness, and he was like, "I guess I lost." So yeah, and then he just like went without complaining because he was the type who'd hold his end of the bargain. Like he still had some honor. So yeah, and now as for the Chinoike family, so basically, if you don't know the Chinoike family, like the Chinoike clan, uh, then like there's this part like after the main part of Shippuden, uh, like after the war, and after everyone comes back and stuff like, uh, so basically, like there are these you know the clan, like they have this unique Kekkei Genkai, like a dojutsu called the Ketsuryugan, which can like control blood. So it's like pretty OP. And like Chino Chinoike, like who's the main like character in this uh in that part of Naruto Shippuden, like congratulations Kishimoto, what a unique name. Like she was able to fight toe to toe with Sasuke almost, like, and obviously Sasuke was holding back, but still like it's pretty impressive. So yeah, they're pretty powerful. So yeah, so as for the Chinoike family, a few days after En Oyashiro killed off the Chinoike clan, so that En Oyashiro was like, in that part, he was like this guy who collected kids with Kekkei Genkai and like made them fight like gladiators in a coliseum. So um, yeah, so that didn't happen in this timeline. So Naruto just approached him and Chino a few days after after Oyashiro killed off the Chinoike clan, and he offered to give them refuge in his village. So they were glad to accept Naruto's help, and but then Naruto asked a question which surprised Oyashiro. So he was like, "Why did he do it?" And Oyashiro, like, he was hoping that Naruto didn't mean like what he thought he meant. So he was like, "I don't get what you mean." And Naruto was like, "You know what I'm talking about. Why did you kill your clan?" So Oyashiro, like, he gritted his teeth, and then he was like, uh, and like Chino was next to him, and she was like, "What is he talking about, father?" And then Oyashiro was like, "How did you know?" Ignoring Chino's question. So, and Naruto was like, "I saw the incident when I was passing through the land of hot water. I waited till now to approach you guys in order to let you get over the incident first." So like Oyashiro was like mad about Naruto knowing this, so he grunted and he activated his Ketsuryugan. But before he could do anything, his eyes were like sealed immediately. And then he was like, "What? How?" And Naruto's like, I know all about your dojutsu. As soon as I sensed the chakra flowing into your eyes, I took action. And he was like, now answer my question. If you lie, the truth seal I placed on you just now will tighten until it kills you. So, yeah, Naruto told Oyashiro that, and Oyashiro was like, he told Naruto about all this shit, like the Chinoike clan's internal conflict, and how the Uchihas and their Sharingan was able to like counter the Ketsurigan, and they were like pushed into the land into the Valley of Hell, and yeah, all of that, like, and Naruto was like, he was able to understand Oyashiro's motives, and he could like tell Oyashiro wasn't like a malicious person. Basically, like, Oyashiro, he pulled in Itachi basically. So in order to protect Chino from the conflict in the clan, he just like killed off all the members of the clan and took Chino with him. So um, yeah, that and uh, like Chino, she was like very angry finding this out first, like when she like found this out. But then, like, after her father explained and stuff, she calmed down, and like she saw everything the way her father did, and like saw that everything her father did was to protect her. So then, like, Oyashiro, he then like thanked Naruto, and like he was really grateful to him for like pulling that massive weight off his chest. So, anyways, that's how the last two Chinoikes were brought to Uzushio. So, yeah, and now we're going to move on to Raiga Kurosuke and Ranmaru. So, yeah, in canon, Raiga, like, he really cares about Ranmaru, as Ranmaru was like able to get to his fields and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was able to empathize with him, and connect to his heart and stuff. So, Naruto, like, seeing this, he offered the pair a home in his village. So he was like, to Raiga, he was like, I'll help you protect Ranmaru, and I'll also help you and Ranmaru become stronger, so that you both can function better together. Now, like, he promised him that. Like, and Raiga was like pretty suspicious, as Naruto looked like an ordinary 7-year-old. Like, and boy was he wrong. But then, yeah, like, who can blame him? And he was like, I don't believe you can do all that, kid. And then, you know, Naruto, like, he pulled off the same thing he did with Zabuza, and he challenged Raiga with the same conditions. And but Naruto increased the time to 10 seconds, and that was because he was very aware of Raiga's fighting style. Like, Ranmaru was his eyes and ears, and he was like, Raiga was like carrying him on his back, and uh, Raiga is the body who does the fighting. So he did not want to end up hurting Ranmaru, as Ranmaru was like pretty physically weak. Like, he was pretty like disabled and stuff, right? So Naruto, he basically like he blitzed Raiga, and he wove hand seals like so fast that Ranmaru couldn't even use his dojutsu to decipher what he was doing. So, and he shouted, "Earth style, quicksand!" And the entire like ground underneath Raiga, it turned to quicksand, and he couldn't react fast enough. So he tried to counter the Earth style by using his thunder swords, but he was too slow. Like, Naruto quickly wove some more hand seals, and sealing kanjis crept over Raiga's body. So Raiga was like, "Ah, okay, you win. I will come with you and become a shinobi of your village." And like while he was saying this, he was thinking like, "What amazing power! I can definitely become a much better shinobi and a much better man by going with him." And I mean, like, you might be like, why is he thinking about all this? Like, why is he thinking that he'd improve so much? So in the original canon, Raiga is kind of portrayed as a bit of an idiot, but um, at least in this what if, he was able to tell that Naruto's holding back so much. Like, he was able to tell that Naruto's holding back so that Ranmaru wouldn't get hurt. So Raiga was like, seeing this kind of strength, he was happy to go with Naruto. So uh, yeah, and that's pretty much it for the background stories of all the shinobi who Naruto brought back. And so now let's get back to the present. So Naruto basically integrates the chakra of all the shinobi he found into the barrier seal so that they could see the village and pass through the barrier. And he also manipulates it so that like civilians who don't know how to mold chakra can see and enter the village as well. So yeah, so now that's how like he gets his first uh, residents of his village. So now that that happened, we're going to do a time skip of about 4 years. So Naruto is now 11 years old. So yeah, by the way, during this time, the Uchiha massacre still happened, causing Sasuke to seek power. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. So yeah, and anyways, let's just go back to what Naruto's doing. And yeah, during this time, Naruto trained all of his prospective shinobi using the time seal in his village, and he even built a ninja academy inside the time seal for his children to children to begin education as a shinobi. So he demolished that old house that he used to live in because now he built a new house, like as I explained in the last part, and he was living there. So and he freed up the space in the time seal in order to put the academy there and put a few training grounds there and stuff. So yeah, so basically like he assigned ranks to the shinobis he got who he brought to his village, and he assigned missions to teams of ninja, and he gathered more resources and further developed the village. So Naruto and a few of his most trusted ninja like Kimimaro, Haku, and the Uchiha twins Umi and Kei and Karin were doing covert high-ranking missions for the Land of Snow in exchange for the technology developed by the Land of Snow. So yeah, it's going to be pretty technologically advanced, like the Whirlpool village. So yeah, and yeah, taking care of his village and training his shinobi actually like it helped Naruto a lot. Like it helped him find peace with himself. So like he wasn't so focused on getting revenge on the Leaf for what they did to him and the Uchiha, sorry, not the Uchiha, the Uzumaki clan. Because like he was like able to let all those feelings go. Like he wouldn't like help the Leaf village if they asked him to, or he wouldn't like become allies with the Leaf village, but he wouldn't like attack it either. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. So Naruto, like during the time skip, he was able to train Ranmaru, who used to be disabled, to such an extent that he was able to run for short periods of time. Uh, so this actually made him like a lot more effective as Raiga's partner, as Ranmaru was at least like Chunin level at Taijutsu and Ninjutsu. But the thing was, his main proficiency was in Genjutsu. So his dojutsu made him like extremely proficient at genjutsus, and he was kind of like Itachi level at doing genjutsu. So he was pretty OP with genjutsus. So he was also able to resist genjutsu to such an extent that he could like almost instantly break Sharingan based genjutsu. So and he knew this because he was training with the Uchiha clan kids. So and speaking of the Uchiha kids, Naruto trained them pretty well. So since they cared about him a lot and helped them, as he helped them so much, the Uchiha clan, they would like be devastated if Naruto died, right? So this is how like Naruto was able to get an idea to help all of them awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan. So like at least like for the kids that he was training, because he didn't train the parents as they weren't like they were like retired shinobi basically, because they weren't interested in fighting. They wanted to like settle down and stuff. So Naruto just trained the kids, and so then he, like while he was sparring with the kids, he cast a genjutsu on them to make it look like they killed him. And this caused their eyes to like morph into the Mangekyo Sharingan. So the Mangekyo. Now we're coming to the Mangekyo abilities, and I think I got pretty good ones. So yeah, the Mangekyo abilities of the youngest child, Raiju, who's only 8 at the time, uh, were the ability to copy and use ninjutsu based on Kekkei Genkai nature transformations, and the ability to slow down time for up to 5 seconds in the real world. So about the Kekkei Genkai nature transformations, he could only like copy and use them while his Mangekyo was active. So yeah, it took a chakra toll, and like when he slowed down the time, like which was his other Mangekyo ability. The more he slowed it down, the more chakra drain and the more blindness like he would face. Like the more blind the eye would become. So there was a limit basically, and the abilities of Umi were to switch places with K and to absorb chakra-based attacks, which don't include senjutsu enhanced attacks because if they included senjutsu, Umi would turn into a frog basically, or like whatever animal, whatever summoning the senjutsu enhanced attacks come from. So yeah, that would be pretty terrible. So. Uh, Yeah, and then K's abilities would be to switch places with Umi and use whatever jutsus that Umi absorbs. So basically, like since they are twins and they work as a team, like these are like pretty good Mangekyo abilities because they could switch places with each other. Like, and then Umi could like absorb the ninjutsu, and then like they could switch back, and then like K could expel. And like she could use that the ninjutsu absorbed by Umi. So it's basically like putting something in into a container and then like taking it back out. Basically, it's like that. So K can't like use unlimited jutsus that Umi absorbs. So yeah, and that's basically like how he managed to train the Uchiha clan children in order to awaken the Mangekyo. So. And he kept about 10 shinobi on the north, south, east, and west gates of the fortress that he and the villagers built around the village. So uh, this was to sense the presence of like experienced shinobi who could hide their chakra from the barrier seal. Because like if they could hide their chakra, they would be able to get into the village. So he also created like two Anbu units, one which was led by Zabuza Momochi and the other was led by Raiga Kurosuke. So, uh, why does he have two Anbu units? It's simply because he'd be able to get things done faster. So, like one Anbu unit could focus on a certain task and the other Anbu unit could focus on another task. So, if they were like overwhelmed with overwhelmed by the other villages, then the Anbu could like solve like more problems at once. So yeah, and by this time Naruto's village was like a proper village, about the size of Konoha. So there were even like civilian businesses like restaurants, shops, forges, and firms. And Chino's dad, Oyashiro, actually chose not to become a shinobi. So he instead he was interested in starting a business. So uh, he was actually like a businessman in canon. Like he would make Kekkei Genkai children, like he would train them and he would make them fight in the Colosseum, and uh, that's how he earned his money. So yeah, his business in this what if like it researched and made ninja tools by studying Kekkei Genkai, fighting styles, ninja DNA, and a bunch of other stuff. So, and yes, if you're wondering, this is the forerunner to the whole scientific ninja equipment shtick that we see in Boruto. So, yeah, that's all going to come up much earlier as Naruto is actually investing in this shit. Like, he understands that if this development continues, his entire village can like be leaps and bounds ahead of the other ones. Like, the other ones would just be like left in the dust when it came to strength. So, why was he like so focused on obtaining strength? Because he remembered the Uzumaki clan's history, so he wanted like the entire village to gain enough strength to prevent the village from being wiped out again. So, in order to do this, he even arranged for all the civilians of his village to learn taijutsu until they were at least chunin level at it. So, um, yeah, the civilians were trained as well, so that if they were attacked, they'd be able to defend themselves a little bit until shinobi arrived to help them. So this was like a pretty smart move by Naruto, as civilian casualties would like dramatically decrease in the event of war. So um, yeah, so that's why I did this. And but like there were still a few things Naruto wanted to do before the village was revealed. So Naruto, he was not stupid. He knew that there were people looking uh, for him, right? So during his journey, like finding shinobi and civilians who could reside in the village, he encountered several hidden leaf and root Anbu. So he always hid his chakra well, and he made sure they couldn't find him. And he also was able to sense chakra signatures around him. So he was able to like make sure that he wouldn't have run-ins with them. So he also knew that Jiraiya was looking for him, as he sent Anbu spies to figure out what was going on in the outside world. So one of the spies, he reported to Naruto about Jiraiya. So Naruto's like, Jiraiya, you say? And then he was like thinking why Jiraiya would like uh, go to such lengths to try to find him. So he knew, he was able to like understand that he was like an important person to Jiraiya. So uh, he decided to like take advantage of this. So he was like, I have heard many stories and I have read a lot about him. He was my father's sensei, one of the legendary Sanin, the great toad sage of Mount Myoboku. The other two being the white snake Orochimaru and Konoha's slug princess, Lady Tsunade. Getting trained by them can be quite advantageous. So that was basically his thought process. So he was like eager for this for them to train him. So he made an earth clone, which was much tougher than a shadow clone, as it could resist some damage before it was destroyed. But also he imbued it with so much chakra that even attacks that would like kill a normal person would barely scratch it. Like you would have to do a lot to this clone in order to dispel it. So uh, like with the amount of chakra that Naruto put into the clone, like even with Naruto's chakra reserves, this was like pretty exhausting. So he felt a little bit of chakra drain. Yeah, so he told the clone to dress in dirty rags and apply a lot of muck on himself to make it look like he wasn't exactly living the good life. Like he'd be pretty dirty. Like he'd look like you know uh he didn't really have anyone to care for him or stuff, like, because that would be what Jiraiya's thinking, right? So he wouldn't want to raise suspicion like that. So he told the clone to just like make his presence known to Jiraiya, but like not to make it look like he's not trying to get noticed, so that Jiraiya would find him and you know not suspect him of anything. So he also told the clone to not do any ninjutsu except the ones in the scrolls his parents gave him, as Jiraiya would expect a dead Minato to send Naruto this kind of help, so that he could protect himself. So the clone was only to use ninjutsu he sees in the scrolls in the hidden leaf. So so that like he makes it seem as if he learned the jutsus from the scrolls, and it took him some effort to learn them. And he was also told not to. The clone was also told not to use genjutsu and to not use his taijutsu to the fullest extent. And this is because you know Naruto in the original series, he's like all thumbs at genjutsu, and Jiraiya would kind of expect this from him. So and also like he didn't have any training, so why would he know any genjutsu? So, speaking of taijutsu, the clone had to only like barely keep up with Jiraiya and always lose to him in the end. So, the clone was so basically this was to again make sure that Jiraiya wouldn't get suspicious, and the reason why Naruto's that good at taijutsu would be because while he was like on the run, he had run-ins with many shinobi, so he trained a little bit to get to a level where he could like defend himself. So uh, yeah, and the clone was like instructed to release itself only after trained under both Jiraiya and Tsunade. Uh, so it was to learn the Toad and Slug summonings as well as their respective Sage mode. Yes, I am introducing Slug Sage mode in this What If, and I have a fitting ability to give the user, and not to brag, I think it's going to be pretty lit. And you will get to see that in probably the next part of this of the normal version of the What If. If not that, then the one after the next part. So yeah, keep something to keep you on your toes. And anyways, Naruto knows about Jiraiya and Tsunade's relationship with Orochimaru, so he decided on holding off Snake summonings and Snake Sage mode for now. So yeah, guys, Naruto's not gonna have just one Sage mode, not even two. He's gonna have three Sage modes. So, how cool is that? So, uh, anyways, the Earth clone agrees to do all this, and it goes off. So Naruto is like, "All right, so now that we got that covered, I have something I must do. I promised that I would do it." And he's obviously referring to the Mist Village. So when he went to the Mist Village to collect supplies, in I think it was part two, uh, he saw the poverty stricken area, and like all the poverty and like all the and how miserable the place was. So he kind of like made a vow to change that when he got enough resources. So Naruto is basically like making good on his promise right now. So he was like, "I want to help make the situation in the Hidden Mist village better." And I heard there's a faction within the Hidden Mist that is rebelling against the Blood Mist village that was created by Yagura's rule. So let's arrange an elite team to form an alliance with this faction. So Kimimaro was like, "Who should be on the team?" So basically, Kimimaro and Haku were Naruto's advisors, and Naruto was the leader. And he wasn't a Kage because only leaders of one of the five great elemental nations had the right to be called a Kage. So yeah, he was just a leader of the village. He wasn't the Kage. So anyways, Naruto, like, he replies to Kimimaro, and he's like, "The team will have me and Karin, as the Mizukage is a perfect Jinchuriki of the three tails, meaning that we have to be able to restrain him with our Uzumaki adamantine chains if he does a tail beast transformation. Other than us, we'll also be taking Raiga Kurosuke, Ranmaru, and the Uchiha siblings." And so like Kimimaro and Haku are pretty pissed at this. Like, even they wanted to come, and they thought that Naruto didn't trust them completely. And then Haku was like, "What about us?" And Naruto's like smiled at them, and he was like, "I need you to run the village while I'm gone." And Kimimaro and Haku were like really happy that to hear that Naruto trusted them that much, and they were like enthusiastic about it. They were like, "Leave it to us." And then Naruto smiled at them and smiled at them once more, and he left to assemble the team. So once everyone was assembled, Naruto told them the mission and requested Raiga to let the team borrow some Anbu masks to hide their faces. And Raiga was like, he was willing to do anything. He was like, "Of course, my lord, anything for you." And then he bowed deeply and passed some masks that one of his Anbu who was behind him had given him after he heard Naruto's request. And Raiga was acting like this because he had become extremely loyal to Naruto, as being in a happy village like the one Naruto gave him a home in, like it really did magic for him. Like, it was basically like a therapy for him. So, if you saw the canon version of Raiga, he kind of had a screw loose in his head. He was like completely cuckoo. He was like sadist, like a psycho. He enjoyed like funerals and stuff. You know, it was pretty bad. So he became like a much better person as he predicted before. So he was like really grateful to Naruto, and also he was grateful because Naruto trained him and Ranmaru a lot, and then he made them a lot stronger. So yeah, and so now let's get back to the story. So yeah, the team put the masks on, and Raiga carried Ranmaru on his back like he usually did. Now, like Ranmaru can walk, but keep in mind that Ranmaru is still weak in his legs despite the training. And Raiga would only let him fight if it was absolutely necessary. And as of now, Ranmaru was Raiga's eyes, ears, and Genjutsu specialist. So, yeah, his training paid off, and he became Raiga's Genjutsu specialist as well. So Raiga could, like while fighting, his opponents could be put in a Genjutsu because of Ranmaru. So, Raiga, he quickly learned to adapt to Ranmaru's new abilities, and they had like such excellent teamwork that if Kakashi saw them, he would like be doing backflips in his head, man. Like he would be like so pleased at seeing something like that. Uh, so Naruto then said like, "All right, everyone, time to get the mission started. Dismissed." And the team then body flickered and exited the village. Now going to the hidden mist village. So Naruto was like, I left one of my flying Raijin kunai at that village when I was collecting supplies for our village. Everyone hold hands so that I can teleport us there. So everyone did as they were told, and Karin, who was next to Naruto, held his hand and blushed. And obviously Naruto couldn't notice because Karin was wearing the Anbu mask. But if it was like if she wasn't wearing it, like it would be so obvious that even like the canon Naruto who couldn't like uh you know uh tell how people felt about him, like even he would notice. So yeah, her face was like as red as her hair. So but Naruto didn't notice as they were all wearing masks. So he focused on his jutsu and he teleported to the kunai. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. I'm gonna leave it this relationship hanging, and probably in the next part we're gonna get to all that spicy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like between Naruto and his future, you know, the girls who get into a relationship with him in the future. And if you like this video and if you like my content, like and subscribe. Um, and comment down what you want me to do a what if on for my next what if series after this one's over. So and comment down your thoughts about this video and like your answer to the question I asked at the beginning of this video. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys.